Welcome, Rich Rebel fans, out here to Mount Vernon in Murray, Utah. We're in a really cool gym, kind of like a little bit different than what we've seen in the past. Cody Olsen and Rob Leifson in the booth as we're coming to you live, 16 and a half minutes approximately away from tip-off. It should be a really good one here as the boys are coming off a win against Telos yesterday. They're looking for round number 2 and the second, actually it would be the number 3 in a third win column if they're able to take this one up tonight against Mount Vernon. We're excited to bring you the action here in Murray, Utah, part of our Gary Tusher CPA Montpelier pregame show. Have your taxes prepared by a professional that understands personal business and agricultural taxes. We'll go ahead, take a quick break, come back to you with a little bit more in our scene set brought to you today by on our Gary Tusher CPA pregame show, brought to you by J-Bar Excavation. That's the team, the equipment, and the experience to get it done. J-Bar Excavation in Randolph. Stop in today. This has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel basketball on 98.3 The Wildlife.
Two of the things you work hardest for in life are your family and your money. Taking care of the money you earn is an important part of taking care of your family. Gary Tusher, CPA of Montpelier, Idaho, is a rancher who's also provided professional tax preparation and financial services for more than 30 years.
When it comes to taxes and your money, make sure it's handled the best way possible. Call me today, 208-847-2601.
Welcome in, Rich Rebel fans, here to our J-Bar Excavation scene set. Rob, you're joining us here as we're going to be taking on Mount Vernon. It should be a really good one. A lot to talk about. The Rich Rebels, first off, taking care of Telos late in the fourth after a little bit of a comeback. Showed a lot of grit, showed a lot of really good things, able to stand in the face of adversity and come back from that one.
Yeah, they had a pretty good lead at halftime and started out the third quarter pretty good. But Telos made a nice run at the end of the third and into the fourth and actually took a 1-point lead with a few minutes left in the game and an 8-0 run by the Rebels, which was keyed by a three-pointer from Hunter Pace and a possible three-point play by Hayden Weston the old-fashioned way. But he stepped over the free throw line a little bit on trying to get the end of that one. But the 8-0 run capped it for him and came away with the win.
It's a good W to put in the win column for the Rich Rebels yesterday. Mount Vernon coming into this, entering their 5th year under head coach Mike Lamson, who triples as head coach, principal, and athletic director. He was nice enough to set us up with this nice table, this nice spot overlooking the court here. If you look at the Mount Vernon boys, you can't talk about Mount Vernon without talking about sophomore guard Gabriel Jackson. He's bringing in 17 points per game. And you also have to talk about 6-foot senior forward Ketu Achibo, who achieves a double-double almost every single game, Rob.
Yeah, I was impressed with his stats, and I do remember him from last year, but averaging a double-double in high school is impressive.
Very impressive indeed. We'll see what they can do up against the Rich boys tonight. Touching back a little bit on the Rich boys, the Rebels tonight have a chance to get that little bump in the RPI. Telos was one step below them in the RPI, and then Mount Vernon was 2 steps below them. Currently, right now, the boys ranked 19th, 1 spot above Telos, 2 spots above Mount Vernon. A good opportunity to cap off a week and get ready for the second half of the season and getting into February. It's almost time for state playoff time.
That RPI is critical. It'll help you in the bracket for sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us as part of our Gary Tusher pregame show and our J-Bar Excavation scene set. We'll come back to you with a few interviews and a touch-up here from our coaches, brought to you by lots of wonderful people, including Pam Cornea at Town & Country Realty. This is a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel basketball on 98.3 The Wildlife.
Whether you're looking for gravel, sand, topsoil, rock, or other materials for your excavation or landscaping project, trust the experienced, knowledgeable team at J-Bar Excavation, specializing in sale and delivery of the materials you need to finish your project. J-Bar Excavation in Randolph, Utah has the team, the tools, and the plan to help you create exactly what you're looking for. J-Bar does quality work that fits your schedule and your budget. Call J-Bar Excavation today, 435-793-5855.
When you enter the city limits of the town of Woodruff, the sign welcomes you to a place with the coldest temps and the warmest hearts. Settled in 1870, we celebrate the values of kindness, compassion, and friendliness, knowing a community's greatness may best be measured by the compassionate actions of its members. Mayor Scott Sabian, council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson, with Secretary Lisa Bell, welcome you and say,
At the Evanston Walmart, you'll find all the tools students need to succeed. Our team is committed to providing quality products and an excellent shopping experience. Stop in today. 125 North 2nd Street, Evanston. Walmart. Save money, live better.
We welcome you back into the booth. Melissa Olsen, Rob Leifson, and Colton Bagley in the studio as we get ready more to dip into just kind of what these teams are looking at. We're also going to hear from our head coach, Lex Cornea, in just a moment. Rob, we want to make mention that the only light that can come from the outside of this gym is from a wonderful window here located on the east side from this cross. I mean, it's pretty.
I'd be slacking on my profession if I hadn't noticed that one. But, yes, the only light through the gym is through the cross.
There you go. That should be a great thing. It just kind of adds to the ambiance of a really impressive gym right now, Mount Vernon, a private institution. Obviously, there's a Lutheran church adjacent to it and a lot of, affiliation in between all of them. So now as we take a moment, we'd go ahead and like to thank both T7 Propane in Woodruff and the town of Woodruff for making it possible to meet up with some of our outstanding students, our student athletes. We're going to go ahead and hear from one of them during halftime. I'll keep you all on the edge of your seat to see who that is. Halftime should be a really good one. As now we'll take a 30-second break and come back to you with our interview brought to you by Pam Cornea at Town & Country Realty with head coach Lex Cornea after this on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Basketball, 98.3 The Q.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The safe and professional team at T7 Propane offers quality product and the most responsive propane service in the area, so you can enjoy the affordability, reliability, and efficiency of propane. For heating, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for your personal or business propane needs. 435-793-4208.
Welcome back here into the studio. Getting ready for our coach's interview. Robbie, do you have anything to touch up on? No. If not, we'll go ahead and dip into our interview with Coach Lex Cornea. Coach was very excited to tackle this week. This was taken before we had a huge win against Telos, but he talks about Telos, he talks about Mount Vernon and what it could mean as it propels the Rich Rebels into February. Go ahead and take it away, Coach Cornea. Rich Rebel fans here on the Coach's Corner again. Coach Lex Cornea back with us after a huge win against ICS. And Coach Cornea, I think first and foremost, the relief of having the lid off the basket for the athletes, everybody in the building, was just big overall from a broadcasting standpoint. 41 points in the first half, the biggest score at halftime on the year. I mean, honestly, what do you feel like the win did mentally for your boys?
It was just so needed. I mean, obviously we needed that, for our record, but more importantly, we just needed that for our confidence. And to know what it feels like to just go play well in all facets of the game. It feels like, these last five, we do some things well, but there's always just one or two things that you go, man, if we could have shot free throws better, if we wouldn't have, been have such low shooting percentage and get some easy buckets to go, the game would have been different. And we finally had a game where just kind of everything came together. Our free throw shooting is still a little bit low, but overall everything finally clicked. And I think it's just really good for these guys to know what it feels like, that when things do click, we are a very, very dangerous team and we just need it to click at the right time.
Coach, I mean, we could go many different ways as to what it was in preparation for ICS. You had a quick turnaround after Tabiona. Do you chalk it up to, lucky underwear? Maybe that's what the kids are thinking. I don't know. What was preparation like for ICS, and why do you think it was that game despite the day before?
I think part of it, we're still figuring out some things about ourselves. Tabby, obviously they're a better defensive team than ICS, and they do a good job of having you miss shots. But I think we had them play a little bit fast. We've been focused on just running our break better and getting more easy points. And I think that just made our pace a little bit frantic. And against ICS, as we looked at the Tabby game, we said, we're just going to run the break when it's there, and we're going to slow down and be a little more methodical. I think that helped us as far as guys just catching the ball with their heart rate a little bit lower and stepping into shots. We really tried to be more selective in the types of shots we took against ICS, and make sure that they were coming inside out if we're going to shoot from the outside. Or we're getting those post entries. So, I think that it was kind of a combination of all these things. But, we've been due for a breakout game. And for whatever reason, we had a 5-game stretch where it just wasn't going down. And I think that stretch is behind us, and we can be a better shooting and a better offensive team from here on out.
As a coach, how do you keep the spirits up? How do you keep the momentum and mentality and carrying that over from ICS when we're going to have a game coming up hopefully in a couple weeks, when we have a couple missed shots in a row? What's the key as a coach to keeping that momentum and mentality to carry over?
Well, I think guys just have to know that, you believe in them and you trust them. And then they also have to believe in themselves. I think we had some games where guys were shooting and they're like, man, I just hope I draw a rim. I don't think this is going in. And I mean, you just can't, you're just not going to score when it's like that. And then also, I think we're just getting better at what we do. And I don't know why it didn't click against Tabby. I mean, obviously they're a good defensive team, and that is a very difficult gym to play in. I think it's an emotionally charged game. And we had some shots not go down, and suddenly they get some of theirs too. It's just a hard place to climb out of a hole in. But I just think some confidence, and we just need to taste some success. I think that's why ICS was so important for us. Is momentum is a real thing, especially for 17-year-old athletes and 18-year-old athletes. So we've noticed a difference in practice this week. More shots are going down. I think our selection, like I said earlier, is better. And I think that, we're building up and are going to play our best basketball, hopefully here in about 4 or 5 weeks. But I think we took a good step on Saturday.
Coach, we're having a second look at Telos coming up. And, that home opener initially was a very impressive one, and lots of things worked well for the Rebels. Shots were falling. But what do you expect from this Telos Titans team in terms of adjustment, and how do you plan on preparing for that?
Well, they're definitely an ISO team. The first time we played them, they've got some guys that are just very talented at getting to rim and playing one-on-one. And, that's something we'll have to account for. In the first game, we started out playing man, and, the Weiss kid, number 11, he ripped us up that first quarter especially, and the first half in general. Once we adjusted, we cooled them off a little bit. But even in a zone defense, there's just opportunities where, you're kind of on an island with another player. So our one-on-one defense is definitely something that needs to improve. And then we just need to create and stop runs. That's something that against Tabby we struggle to do. And I've always believed in high school basketball, a run is 3 trips down the floor. If you can get a stop and a score and then stop them again, you're on a run. And, against ICS, even when they did get scores, we were good about having an answer and stopping that run that they'd started. We were good at starting our own runs. And, that's on both sides of the ball. Defense and offense go into that. So, against Telos, it's a tough place to play. It's actually my first time going down there because it was canceled last year. But, kind of controlling the momentum and making good decisions with our pace, and when we push the ball and when we don't, it's going to be very important. And I think guys know how important this game is, that, it doesn't matter that, our first game, let's see, I think we managed to beat them by, it was a 20-point game, but in the first half, it was a 1-point game. We know Telos can play, and we know that Mount Vernon is a dangerous team too. So I know guys are looking at these 2 games, and they know how important they are, and they're really trying to put together a nice stretch of games here. And you can't do that by looking ahead to Tabiona. You have to do that by just seeing what's in front of you.
Coach, last question here. As do you see the opportunity at Telos and Mount Vernon as a potential positive springboard into the second half of the season?
Well, it has to be, and we've played ourselves into that position. If we would have gotten a couple more wins in these last couple of weeks, then you don't need these games as much as we do now. But as far as the RPI goes, yeah, this week is hugely important. And then also just between our ears, our confidence that we have to go play well this week in order to have, Altamont and Tabby come here and have a chance to steal one of those games. And I mean, there's a lot left to play for, but we have played ourselves into a position where, we need to win another, 5 or 6 games to really be put in a position that we want to be in going into state. So they know how important it is. They know that nothing's given. I mean, last year at Mount Vernon, I feel like we were a better team than Mount Vernon, and we went down there and they caught fire and we lost. And these guys were part of that. They know what it's like to lose to a team that maybe you shouldn't. And so they know they can't take anything for granted. And yeah, we've seen, just good focus this week. There's a better energy in the gym. Winning will do that, and we need to keep that momentum going.
Coach, thanks again for the interview. Best of luck against the Titans and the Patriots this weekend.
Thanks, Cody. Talk to you soon.
So that's Lex Cornea kind of touching up as to, what they were expecting against Telos, what they're expecting against Mount Vernon, and this team on a little bit of a roll. 2 games under their belt, 2 wins, trying to get a little bit of momentum to dip into February. As they were talking about before, Coach said, keeping the right headspace, keeping confidence, and knowing as a coaching staff that you trust those kids is a way for you to kind of keep that ball moving and keep it going into the bucket when maybe it doesn't seem to be so in the moment right there. So we're going to get ready here, and our presentation of the colors will be presented. As we do that, we're going to go ahead and take a break here on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Basketball 98.3. The Wildlife.
2 of the things you work hardest for in life are your family and your money. Taking care of the money you earn is an important part of taking care of your family. Gary Tusher, CPA of Montpelier, Idaho, is a rancher who's also provided professional tax preparation and financial services for more than 30 years.
When it comes to taxes and your money, make sure it's handled the best way possible. Call me today, 208-847-2601.
Success is no accident. It comes from constant hard work, perseverance, sacrifice, and learning from failure. Laketown Mayor Burdette Weston and council members Dallas Clark, Gary Ogilvie, Eldon Robinson, and Delora Wright encourage the Rich High Rebels to continue to do whatever it takes to succeed in academics, activities, and athletics. The town council and citizens of Laketown celebrate the success of all the students and staff in the Rich School District.
Home
Now you've got a safe and secure place to store your boat, RV, ATVs, and other vehicles right in town. T-Bar Body Shop offers storage for just $35 per month. Long and short-term storage options are available. Of course, T-Bar Body Shop also offers custom bodywork when you have an accident. We work with your insurance directly and get the job done right. T-Bar Body Shop offers a wide range of services. Stop in today and see all the ways T-Bar can serve you. 515 County Road, Evanston. Let T-Bar fix your car.
Now we're going to go ahead, dip into our starting lineups coming up here. A special thanks again to T7 Propane in Woodruff for allowing us to meet with Coach Cornea. Trey Walker getting the start tonight as a part of our starting lineup here. Riley Carrillos. Hunter Pace as well. Hunter caught fire against Telos. Perfect from beyond the arc last night. Jaden Cornea coming up right behind him. Hayden Weston also getting the start here for the Rich Rebels. That's your starting 5 today. So they're going to get pumped up and have their little mosh pit right beyond the arc here. Your Mount Vernon Patriots going to be coming up here. Tommy Sun will be getting the start here for your Mount Vernon Patriots. Jackson as well. Jackson Guidish. K2 Achibo, number 35 as well. Mike Lamson also going into his 4th year as head coach for the boys, spearheading as athletic director and principal. So Ketu Achibo, Jackson Guadish, Gabriel Jackson, Tommy's son, and others making up your starters here. Trying to go ahead and see, that's Parks Krayek, I believe, out there as well. That's number 0. Here we go as we're going to go ahead and start our first quarter. Your tip-off today brought to you by LSR Refrigerated. That's Darren, Tricia, and the entire Wallentine family wishing the Rebels good luck in all that they do. Ketu and Riley Carrillo to tip it off, and that is Achibo winning the tip and then getting it right back into their own back court. That's Guadish. 3 taken from Jackson. Nobody there to guard him. Somehow off the back iron and an offensive rebound again here. 2 shots for Jackson, and he's going to start off with a huge 3, immediately putting up the Mount Vernon Patriots up by 3 here. Here comes the Rich Rebels on offense. Trey Walker here on the left side. Looks inside for Carrillo instead. Puts it back up to the top for Hunter Pace. Right-hand dribble 2 out to the right side now. That's Cornea. Walker, left side Pace. Again, around the horn it will go. Nothing inside at the moment. Walker now feeding inside to Weston, who trips himself up. Carrillo able to bail him out. Carrillo thought about the 3 on the near corner. Cornea, pump to the right, drive into the paint, up with the right hand and good. That's a very aggressive move from Cornea, whom we really need to have aggressive play in order to keep competitive with a lot of people.
He ended up with 10 points last night against Telos.
So into the double digits there, Cornea. Here comes Achibo, just leaving it short off of a drive on the right side. Into the paint he goes, and now a feed. Trey Walker in a fast break opportunity, bumps it right off the underneath of the rim. Guadesh now comes up with the rebound. Mount Vernon feeding Guadesh with a back cut here, fouled by Hunter Pace. He misses the layup. That's going to send Jackson Guadesh to the line, the junior, 6 foot.
A little shakeup on the starting lineup from last night with Trey Walker in place of Nate Woods, and Noah Perry started last night in the place of Hayden Weston. Still trying to get back into complete 100% game shape.
Well, the first one on the free throw attempt here by Jackson Guadesh, good, 2-4. 6.5 minutes left, and he goes 2 for 2. 5-2 now in favor of the Mount Vernon Patriots. Cornea now on the far side corner. Double kind of hopped into underneath the arc and then kicks it back out. Cornea getting the feed from Pace at the very top, setting up the offense. Now left side, Walker feeding left elbow. Weston, who has a little bit of a bump from behind, has it poked away there. That's a great move by Parks Krayek to poke that one up and away. Taking over point guard duties right now, Jackson Guadesh, the junior, trying to get some help. He had to pick up his dribble and then get bailed out. Another dribble handoff back to Guadesh on the far side. Getting worked by Trey Walker on defense, and now hesitation 3 taken there by Tommy's son.
Give him a 2 on that.
2 points there, as I think we'll have to take a double look at it. Foot on the line is what it is. 7-2 right now. Here come the Rich Rebels. Cornea pointing to where Trey Walker is supposed to be in terms of offense. Flipping around. This is a 2-1-2. They're trying to fit into this zone here. Flipping it out to Carrillo. Steps in and then gets it right back up at the top for Hunter Pace. Driving, kick out to the far side. Baseline, Walker feeding to Carrillo. Kick just barely nabbed, grazed off of the foot, and that's going to save 2 points because Carrillo was standing free underneath the basket there on the left side.
Carrillo got himself in a little bit of foul trouble last night to keep him out probably over half the game, so hopefully he can stay on the floor tonight.
So here comes a foul here. We're going to see who it's on. A Rich Rebel arm check. Didn't give a number on that one, so we'll see how it goes. Carrillo previously missed a little jumper about 3 feet out on the right block. Not something that he misses quite often. Still 7-2 with 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Our station on main scoreboard reading, keeping us up to date on everything. 5 seconds. And that's good defense by Trey Walker on Jackson Guadesh.
Hunter with 4 threes last night in the ball game. That was huge.
4 threes for Hunter Pace, and one of them I know was huge and capping off an 8-0 run at the very end. Weston getting a feed into the left block, and it's been kept alive as Trey Walker goes careening out of bounds into the arms of Mike Lamson. Then a feed inside, then to Carrillo, a little double back and forth, and one on the left side. A little layup for Carrillo. He's going to have a chance for 3.
Nice assist from Hayden.
Hayden Weston getting the feed from the right side wing. Now on the right block, flips it around. A Mount Vernon player finds Carrillo on the left side. Carrillo gets fouled and 1. Here comes the Bear Lake Realty free throw. That one's good. Complete 3-point play, and now they're only down by 2 with 4 minutes and 38 seconds left here.
Free throws was a little bit of an issue last night. We were 8 of 13 at Telos, and that could have made the game a lot looser at the end.
So we'll see what the Rebels can do in terms of that. A 3 taken by Gabriel Jackson, stuffed by Trey Walker on the near side beyond the arc. The ball goes careening out of bounds after it was last touched by Walker. Jackson not afraid to pull any shot whatsoever. He's pulled some really big ones so far. Inbound to Guadesh, handoff back to Jackson. Long 3 after the handoff, knocking it down. That one's good, and that's something that you have to realize. Gabriel Jackson, the sophomore, is the leader in points scored for the Mount Vernon Patriots. 17 per game, Rob, and he's knocked down 2 big ones at the very beginning. 10-5 here, a 5-point difference in the first quarter, feeding inside. Trey Walker right above the free throw line, has it poked away. A bunch of Patriots collapsing in on him, and it gets knocked out, and here comes Guadesh in transition. Strolling across the middle of the timeline, guarded by Cornea. Jabs left, goes right, gets it out here to Gabriel Jackson. Jackson pumps, throws it up for 3, just off the front of the rim, no good. Hayden Weston battling with Soon. Out of bounds, last touch by Hayden Weston. It goes rolling out the back line. Underneath the basket, the Patriots will get their inbound.
Nice defense by Trey Walker on that 3, but still got his space.
Here we go, inbound here, and a stuffed from behind. That's Hunter Pace on Ketu Achibo, excuse me. And that's a partial block. Ball goes kind of careening out, and then a foul after the ball kind of is up for grabs in front of the Rich Rebel bench. Inbound for the Rich Rebels. It will stay with Rich. Cornea working from right to left. They're in their all blues with black accents. Walker getting the feed on the right side. Almost picked up his, it was close, almost picked up his pivot foot. Cornea fakes inside to Carrillo, into Weston with a little stutter, spin, pump fake, gets his defender up in the air, and he puts that one up in easy. 2 points for Weston.
He's had a soft touch since middle school when I started watching him play.
It's great work by Weston, and here comes the Patriots, and a little seal off there by Achibo. Just leaves it long, goes off the front of the rim, ripped down by Carrillo. In transition, fast break, pumps, puts it back into Carrillo. Carrillo with 3 Patriots draped all over him, puts up his arms for the shot, gets fouled. They're down 3. It's 10-7 right now, advantage Mount Vernon. So there's 2 quick trips to the line for Riley Carrillo.
I happened to be sitting by his parents last night in the ball game at Telos, and they weren't necessarily agreeing with the calls that went against Riley. The one, he was completely straight up. In fact, Coach Corney even demonstrated to the referee exactly what Riley had done, and they still called the foul on him. But it's good to see him on the floor and staying out of foul trouble.
That's right. Misses the first one, so he has a chance for 50% here on the second attempt. He goes and knocks that one home. 8-2, Mount Vernon still sitting on a 2-point lead. Guadesh letting the ball roll just a little bit here. Cornea is going to meet him at half court. Guadesh working right with the right hand, trying to find Jackson instead. Spins around here on the left block, flips it to Jackson for a long 3 at the top of the arc. Air ball, nothing. Saved by Achibo into the arms of Weston. In come the Rebels, and already in their offensive set. Walker on the left side, 2 dribbles into the lane, kick out here for Pace for 3. That rolls out, robbed. That one almost halfway in the basket, got kicked out. Here comes Guadesh, kick out for 3 on the left side, bodies flying everywhere, and here comes a rebound by Riley Carrillo, handing off to Cornea now with a drive, coast to coast, up with the right hand, and good. Now a tie ball game. That was a pretty work, and Cornea has 2 very aggressive layups early in this game. getting there, and he wants to get back into double digits like he was last night. Mount Vernon with some back cuts. Soon, long three, rolls off the right, comes off, and Cornea grabs it off the boards. Coach Cornea motioning, instructing, getting some kids in position here. Trey Walker getting a feed to pace. Then quickly inside, Riley gets blocked by Achibo, and then Guadesh there to secure it. Patriots working it up, Gabriel Jackson. Then Sun. Corner three on the far side, good. Rob, something that we're seeing in terms of a trend, and you live and die by the three. Patriots are living right now by it, and they're not afraid to pull any shot whatsoever. That first look, they're pulling it.
Third three of the quarter.
Trey Walker on the far corner, inside to Carrillo, who finds himself alone, off balance, off to the left, no good. Guadesh getting the outlet from Achibo. Slowly working across the timeline, getting a little bit of a rub off at the very top. Achibo with the screen high above the arc. Pick and roll, Guadesh. Kick out for Jackson. Pumps inside. Goes right above the free throw line. Couple steps, I thought, maybe one extra. No call. And Gabriel Jackson again with more points, this time off a little floater in front of the free throw line.
Quick 5-0 run by the Patriots.
5-0 run for the Patriots. Carrillo looks inside on the left side here. Finds his spacing, throws it up, just rims out, no good. Even though that one didn't fall, it's good to see Riley not afraid to take those shots. They left him open there. That one didn't fall.
I think he would have been a little bit better off just shoot that in rhythm rather than hesitate like that.
He did seem a little bit hesitant in the way that he kind of shot that. We're having a little technical difficulties. We'll get right back to you. A long off-balance shot by Guadesh right above the arc. And a heave at the buzzer, no good. Almost takes out a Patriot cheerleader underneath the basket here. That's going to be after the end of one. Mount Vernon up 15-10. We'll keep it here with our Bear Lake Realty fan cam. It's going to be honed in right on the Rebel bench here. Rob, something that we saw pretty early on, we already touched up on it, but Mount Vernon is not afraid. They're going to be an inch behind the line, 3 feet behind the line. Doesn't matter if you give them enough space. They're going to throw that thing up.
They were 3-9 from the three-point land in that first quarter. Watching the JV game, that's not just a varsity approach. Approach is just kind of the nature of the Patriot offense.
Mike Lamson, I'm sure, implementing that within his 5 years at Mount Vernon. Hey, if you got a shot, take it. Maybe it's, quantity eventually leads to the amount of points that you're seeing right now. And right now, it's going to lead to a 5-point lead for the Patriots. We get the buzzer back now as our Bear Lake Realty fan cam. Call Gary or Amber McKee at 435-946-8888. Speaking of which, girls won today, Rob. Was up at 30 at one point. Stars of the show, Brittany Lamborn smothering the Wendover. Why did I say west side? I mean, we've been there a couple times here. Smothering the west side, the Wendover scorer here. And it's good to see the girls. They end up winning by a substantial amount of points, more than 20. I think it was 54-30 something. That's our update there.
And the girls JV won as well, as did the boys JV here in Mount Vernon.
So the boys JV wins, girls JV wins, girls varsity wins. Carrillo has it slip through his fingers. It's going to stay with the Rich Rebels as it was just grazed by a defender underneath the basket. The Rebels working with the Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound on the Mount Vernon side of the court. Inbound to Carrillo on the left side, then around the horn. Right side now, Pace flipping it up and over his head. Cornea driving, kick out now to Carrillo on a rope. Had no arc to it whatsoever, but it lands for a huge three-pointer.
But you saw he caught that in rhythm and shot it rather than sit and hesitate and think about it. That's what he needs to do.
There was no hesitation from Riley Carrillo, and a back cut here from Jackson. Good find from Guadesh to Jackson. And that was just a back cut around behind the defense here on the right side baseline. Still up by 5, Mount Vernon 17-13. Walker dribbles left open, takes the three ball just a little bit too long, and Hunter Pace comes up with it, gets whacked, and it's saved by Perry. Carrillo gets it and throws it up. It goes a little bit too long. Body's rolling out onto the floor. Somehow, Gabriel Jackson ends up with it. And maybe they're good at wrestling and at basketball. Sun back to Gwadesh, who has to rugby pitch it back up to the top. Another back cut up into the air. Jackson ends up with it after it's deflected. Another three. Jackson on the right side, rolling around, no good. Sun fouled from behind. That was an interesting sequence of events here.
First free throw for the Patriots of the game.
So we'll see what Tommy Sun can do. He's a senior, 5'11", got fouled by Noah Perry.
Coach Cornea is trying to plead his case about what was going down at the other end of the floor on the last possession.
So Sun puts that one up, rolls it off, and off the back iron and in. 18-13 here. Now 5-point lead.
Looks like we got a little blood on Jackson. He's going to get a little attention and call a timeout.
All right, let's go ahead, take a timeout as well as we clean up a little bit here on the court. We'll come back to you on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Basketball, 98.3 The Wildlife.
This is Gary McKee. Inviting you to call Bear Lake Realty today, 435-946-8888. Find out how you can be part of this beautiful area here with sandy beaches and private access, or the quickest way to get access to the marina in the Bear Lake area. You can have your own second home or a quarter share into those second homes for starting at $250,000, or you can start your own Airbnb investment and use it as well. Just call us and we'll teach you how to do that at Bear Lake Realty at 435-946-8888.
Sun makes his second free throw attempt. That's going to put up Mount Vernon by a little substantial margin by 6, 13-19, and a missed opportunity there on the other end of the court. Jackson now with the ball for the Mount Vernon Patriots. Pick and roll for Achibo, high off the glass. That one's pretty Stockton to Malone-esque right there. Mount Vernon up to 21, up by 8. They're up by 8. Math was never my strong suit, Rob. That's all right. Here comes
Carter Hoffman just checked into the game.
Hoffman in the game. Riley Carrillo at the free throw line, turning around, shooting it up. Achibo comes down with it and outlets it out to Jackson. Patriots in their Patriot garb. It's patriotic for sure. Red, white, and blue as they come. Sun, right side, corner. 3 beyond the arc. Now Gabriel finds himself right back in that corner, touched by Sun. As we get a controversial kind of figuring out what's going on here, because we had an official call it out of bounds here, and then it seemed like a timeout was called a little bit later on, and now our official crew is going to kind of determine what it should be. I think I'm in the same boat as you, Rob. I think it's out of bounds.
Yeah, it went straight off his shin. Should be blue ball. I don't think they were able to call a timeout in time.
I think we get confirmation that it is blue ball and a quick timeout here. So Mount Vernon on a little bit of a run, and I think it's mostly because a good pick and roll action between Achibo and Jackson, and the Rebels not able to buy a bucket within the last couple minutes.
6-0 run for the Patriots, and yeah, we've missed some easy shots underneath. Either should have had a foul called or get some of those little putbacks to go down.
Little bunnies just breaking off, as I know Riley Carrillo's had a couple chances at it here. We'll see if they can put that down. We've got about 5 minutes and 36 seconds left here in our second quarter. Our second quarter today brought to you by Stacy's Repair. When you need a repair, take it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. That was our Independent Software Solutions timeout. Now back out onto the court. Cornea gets the ball in the inbound from Noah Perry. Goes a little bit left, doubles back right, and then gets it to Hoffman on the right side wing. Hoffman extended, has to pick up his dribble, gets it to Pace here. Pace, another dribble pickup, and Perry with an off-balance shot has it cleaned up by Carrillo, who follows it and then puts it up with the right hand. 15-21. Gwadesh met at the very top by Cornea, drives right, handoff there to Jackson. No hesitation again, Jackson, this time off the front of the rim. Pulled off the rim by Cornea. Cornea works right this time, doubles back left, goes around the horn. Hoffman looks in, feeds Carrillo back out to Perry. jumper from right at the free throw line. That one's good. There was no jump to that. It looked like it was a free throw, just kind of like a little bunny hopping in. 17-21, Jackson guarded by Hoffman. Out here to Krayek. Krayek pumps at the beyond the arc, gets pace up in the air, and then hands off back to Jackson. Gwadesh in a defensive position, has his dribble, decides to use it, goes back over the top, right at the half-court line. Sun, Gwadesh, Jackson, Hoffman steals, has a lane, goes all the way up with the right hand, rolls off the front. Goodness. That's just bad luck right there. Missed layup and fast break opportunity by after the steal by Hoffman. Gwadesh driving, bouncing it off of the thigh of Cornea, steals that one away. 3-on-4 and a kick out for Pace on the left side. He leaves that one very short. Gwadesh comes down with it. That one just kind of rolled off a little awkward, and Pace not able to find his mark.
It seems to be a little bit of a pattern that the Rebels have left quite a few shots short tonight.
Gwadesh drives right into the paint, is fouled on the arm. We're going to get it down underneath. It was before the shot. Nate Woods will be checking into the game. He's going to sub out Cornea. Nate's going to be guarding the point guard, Gwadesh. Gabriel Jackson looks, throws it way out just beyond the reach of Nate Woods. Driving, Achibo, kick out. Jackson steps, goes back underneath, and a foul on Hoffman as Jackson threw his arms right into it. And, when you put your hands kind of over the top of somebody like that, a smart shooter is going to throw themselves into it, at least get a chance for 2 points the easy way.
He's already got a double-digit 10 points for the night.
There we go. Make that 11 as he makes the first attempt.
Should mention there is somebody missing off the bench tonight, Cody, and that would be Carson Muirbrook. Unfortunately, does not doing well from the dinner last night with the Rebels.
No good. Not going to say what place they ate at, but, got to be careful when you're eating seafood wherever you go.
That's true.
So here we go, another back cut. Gwadesh guarded by Nate Woods on the left side block. Goes across the court. Payek drives. Floater from 10 feet out. Off the front of the rim, rolls out of bounds, out the baseline. Good, smart idea to kind of just let that one roll away by Hunter Pace. He tracks that one down and then inbounds into Nate Woods. Mound Valley Cattle Company keeping our inbounds in check. Hoffman here on the left side. 1-2 dribbles back up at the top for Perry. A little stutter, and now Hoffman caught up inside. He has to kick it out here. Nate Woods shuffling into the lane. Pumps, has it poked away and blocked by Jackson. Sun, now a little pitch pass here to Gwadesh, who's going to come across the line with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left here in our Stacy's Repair second quarter. Up by 6, Patriots looking for a little bit more leeway, and that was a delayed pass for Achibo from Jackson. Hoffman ends up with it. He's going to try and pass it off. Foul underneath. Achibo is going to grab Hoffman, and Hoffman was in a little bit of position where it was probably evident that he was going to have a turnover. He gets bailed out by that foul by Achibo. Here comes Pace, guarded by Gwadesh, as he's going to have our Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound. Carrillo, and then around the horn up to the top. Nate Woods, Pace, thinks about it, pulls it. That one's good from 3 on the far side. That was a pretty motion for Hunter Pace as he finally gets that 3 he's been looking for. Here comes that pressure, poked away by Hoffman. Up to Nate Woods. Now back the other way. The Rebels into the lane. Nate Woods fakes it, goes right up and good. That's a very aggressive move. Nate Woods getting some points, and that's his first of the night, I believe.
It is.
23-22, Rebels down by 1 with 1:44 left here. Achibo spinning around on the left elbow, gets it up to Jackson. Then up to the top for Gwadesh. In front of the media table, a jab to the right, trying to get Nate Woods to bite on something. Kick out, back here to Jackson, 3 feet beyond the arc, rolls out. That one looked like it was good. Instead, Pace coming down with it feeds Carrillo, who's going to stop inside, and Riley Carrillo leaves that one really long. It's hard to imagine that he didn't get interfered in some way, shape, or form after he drove into the lane on that back cut.
The full court press worked pretty good last night at Tilos, and it did force a turnover on that last possession.
Still down by 1 with 1 minute remaining here. I believe that was a offensive foul on the screen by Achibo. No? 5
Just
seconds.
calling a 5-second count.
That's why we're here, Rob. That's why you give me a second set of eyes. 5-second call there.
That's 7 turnovers by the Patriots so far and only 3 for the Rebels. So the Rebels doing a good job taking care of the basketball.
That's good. Inbound here to Nate Woods. Out to the left side, Hoffman. Cutting in, looking inside for pace. Then instead goes to Noah Perry. Right side extended. Nate Woods pulls it back out, hands off to Pace in front of the Rebel, in front of the Mount Vernon bench, that is. Pace, right side elbow. Now baseline, Nate Woods pumps, goes in, finds a good positioning, and it's going to bounce off of a foot for a kick. That's a new Philip Molnar, the senior, 5'10". Going to get called for the kick, and we'll get an out of bounds underneath the Mount Vernon basket. Hoffman left alone from 3 on the near side, throws it up just a little bit too far. Jackson comes down with the rebound.
He hit a 3 in the JV game earlier today. Not afraid to pull the trigger, and it's a good thing.
Well, he was left open, left alone there on the near side 3, and just a little bit too far, spinning away from Nate Woods. Jackson getting the handoff, drives off the glass, no good, but a foul nonetheless. As Rob, anytime that Gabriel Jackson is getting the basketball, he's looking to score.
He's an offensive machine. That's where they're going to look for their points, 17 a game.
Jackson, first one, up and good. Grazed the front of the rim and went in.
And already has 13.
That's pretty impressive. 13 points already here when we're about 14 seconds away from the end of our first half. Second charity stripe, rims out, no good. Carrillo comes down with it. Nate Woods pushing it up for Hoffman. Pace for 3, good on the far corner, no hesitation by Pace. Rebels up by 1 and a heave at the end, no good off the very top of the railings that hold the backboard in place from the ceiling and the wall. So Rich comes back after being down the entirety of the first half off of a 3 taken by Hunter Pace on the far side. Short 3 taken. That one's good. 25-24 is your score going into halftime. We'll come back to you after a quick break from our sponsors on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Basketball 98.3 The Wildlife. Randolph, Utah is a town of extremes. At an elevation of 6,300 feet, with temperatures over 90 in the summer and often 40 below in the winter, the folks who call Randolph home have to be a hardy crew. Maybe that is one reason why the simple things in life mean so much to Rich County. Residents value hard work, education, a value for God, family, and country, and being a good neighbor. Mayor Sim Bell and the town board, Melanie Lim, Clay Barker, Brandon Hatch, and Frank Sano, support the Rich Rebels and hope that you can come back often.
For years, people from all over have counted on the competent staff and first-class facilities at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Consistently named one of the top rural hospitals in the country, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital provides a wide range of treatments no matter what you need. Whether it be a simple visit to their expanded ER, a visit to their in-house MRI machine, or if you need more advanced treatments like chemotherapy or dialysis. The staff at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital cares about your health and will do everything they can to help you. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho, the most caring hospital on earth.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
They say the 3 most important things in life for many people are their faith, their family, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order.
Advertise where you'll get noticed. Call My Local Radio and become a sports advertiser today.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to our Crawford Trough halftime show. Cody Olsen, Melissa Olsen, and Rob Leifson in the booth covering the Rich Rebels here against the Mount Vernon Patriots in Murray, Utah. After the end of the first half, Rich babying a 1-point lead, and they're in the lead via a three-pointer taken with 5 seconds left here at the end of the first half by Hunter Pace, who gets that feed on the far sideline and gets it in the far left corner, pulls the trigger for three, and ends up it's good. It's going to put Rich up by 1 point, 25-24. Rob, some of the trends that we've seen here before we dip into our the town of Woodruff outstanding student interview is Mount Vernon not afraid of literally anything right now. Not afraid of the Rich Rebel defense. They're not afraid to take big shots, and they're not afraid to do what they need to do in order to win. They've been hustling all around the floor.
If they keep up the pace, it's going to be a battle going down the stretch. 5 of 10 from the floor for Mount Vernon and 3 of 12 from three-point land, but 5 of 6 from the free throw line, and they're beating the Rebels on the board 18-14 with Keto with the team lead of 5 rebounds. Riley Carrillo's got 5. Jaden Cornier with 3 boards for the Rebels. 3 offensive boards for both sides. I think we need to do something to maybe shut down those three-point shots. Even though they've only hit 3 of them, that's where they're getting their money, and we need to do a better job on the boards.
Rob, would you say that maybe a different defense would help the Rebels? Because right now they're staying in man. They're saying one-on-one, you need to take Jackson right now. And right now Hoffman's been getting that assignment, and Trey Walker's gotten that assignment. It hasn't really stopped him so far.
I thought about a box and one when I watched Hoffman have a little bit of trouble with him. You're getting a freshman that's getting some good varsity time, but that's an arm handful to try to shut him down.
It is a handful. We'll see if the Rich Rebels can kind of, diagnose what they've been seeing, because right now Gabriel Jackson, the sophomore, coming up huge, 13 points in the first half, and that's half the points basically, if not more, for the Mount Vernon Patriots. Thanks so much for joining us. Let's dip now into our Town of Woodruff outstanding student interview. I know that you all have been waiting anxiously to see who it is. It's Araya Osler.
Rich Rebel fans here on Rebel on Record, Araya Osler. It's super awesome to be able to just catch up with everybody at Rich High School. I feel like I'm going to know everybody's name and what's going on in their lives right now. Araya, we're in the middle of basketball season. What was it like just getting varsity time these last couple games?
It's kind of nerve-wracking, but it's super fun to just be on their team and get closer to everyone.
Did you always have a goal of getting varsity time at Rich High School?
Yes, that's been my goal since I've been little, because I've watched all my siblings grow up playing basketball. So
you have a good sibling rivalry with every single one of them?
Yes.
Who often wins on the basketball court?
My oldest sister.
Araya, is there bragging rights? Is there like some sort of trophy when you're playing ball with all your family? Is there a rivalry going on?
Yeah, they will talk about it for months if they win.
Araya, you got some varsity time out there. Who on the basketball team are you really vibing with right now?
I have a sister. Her name's Cassidy Grohl. She's probably one of my best friends, and she plays.
Cassidy did volleyball, and I know that you were around volleyball quite a bit. Not a lot of people on the cheer team, but you talked about it being really fun. Why was it so fun in the fall?
Honestly, just cheering for the girls and having them win was super fun.
What was your favorite routine that you did last fall?
Probably our dances on the football games. At the football games, yeah.
Even though it was freezing cold?
Yeah, it was so fun.
What's it like just kind of being the one to pump up the student section, just being in front of everybody? Is it intimidating?
No, it's awesome. It's super fun to do that.
Just intimidating to do interviews, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Araya, I have to formally apologize to you and your family's name because I think I butchered it the first time that you showed animals at the 4-H at County Fair. How long have you been raising sheep?
Since I was born, I remember them raising sheep. Growing up, I would help my siblings get theirs ready for 4-H, so.
Are sheep the most stubborn?
Yeah, definitely. You have to drag them until they get to walk, yeah. It sucks, but.
What's been the most embarrassing moment that you've had with an animal while showing?
When I was the first year, probably, I let go my sheep and I cried because it was so embarrassing.
Well, it seems like from what I saw, at least back in the fall, you've overcome a lot of that, emotional scarring of losing your sheep that first year. Araya, you're coming up. What's it like just kind of knowing that next year's senior year? Are there any goals that you have that you want to really do before you leave Ridge High School?
I don't think so. Maybe just getting all my classes done. This last trimester, I took a CNA class. That was probably my favorite. I want to go into nursing, so.
There's a lot of different routes you can go for nursing, lots of different programs, and lots of good universities. Do you have one that you really want to go to?
I think UVU. My sister's husband works there, and he's been convincing me since I was little to go there, so.
The propaganda while you're young, that's what it is. Araya, what inspired you to be a nurse in the first place?
When I was younger, we had sheep that would have babies, and I always wanted to be a vet until a couple of years ago. And then all my siblings started having babies, and I just love babies now. So
you talked to me a little bit about how you're the youngest, lots of siblings up above you. We talked about the basketball rivalry. What are the pros of having so many older siblings than yourself?
They teach me a lot, and yeah, just them preparing me for life and things that will come.
Araya, we're in the middle of winter trimester. Not a lot of people get the small town experience like you do. What is one pro of being out here at Rich High School in such a small town, and maybe one con?
A bad thing is that everyone knows every single thing about you, and probably a good thing is you can just be nice to everyone and be friends with everyone, so you have a ton of friends.
Araya, what is your final goal here as we get ready for the end of basketball season? You're getting out onto the court already. Am I going to see a 50 burger coming up here from Araya, or what's your goal for the end of basketball?
Definitely working on my shot and making most of my shots. I need to work on that.
Araya Osler, thanks so much for being our outstanding student on 98.3 The Wildlife. So that was Araya Osler and, showing sheep basketball. And that is what she does. That is, that, talking with her, super excited, maybe a little intimidated with an interview. But it was great to catch up with her. She's our outstanding student, brought to you by the town of Woodruff here. Take a quick break, and then we'll come back to you with the very interesting stat that our vast team, our knowledge, has come up. Rob Leifson will share that after a 30-second break on 98.3 The Wildlife.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The safe and professional team at T7 Propane offers quality product and the most responsive propane service in the area, so you can enjoy the affordability, reliability, and efficiency of propane. For heating, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for your personal or business propane needs. 435-793-4208.
Here back here on our Crawford Trough halftime show, 4 seconds before we end, Rob, we looked at the shots selection taken by each player here out onto the court. Something with Gabriel Jackson we've noticed as a trend.
He likes to choose the right, and he is taking about 6 or 7 shots from the right-hand corner, thanks to our shot chart brought to you by my son Samo.
So Samo, special thanks to keeping us up to date on some of that stuff. We're going to dip now into our third quarter, brought to you by Epic Recreation, a inbound play. Guadesh with the basketball. They're going to go ahead and start off here. Mount Vernon on offense, poked away. Trey Walker wrestling that one away, feeding to Riley Carrillo, taken away, and a foul by a Chibo. And you know what? That is some great work for hustling, and, maybe the shots or the points haven't come for Trey Walker so far this game, but hustle.
He has been playing well on defense.
That's how you earn your stripes, especially with a coach like Lex Cornea. We'll have to talk with Lex Cornea about how what he thinks of the 35-second shot clock, considering his coaching philosophy here. A little bunny missed by Riley Carrillo about 5 feet out. Here comes Mount Vernon with possession. Jackson working right, and an offensive foul as he tried to extend with his left arm. It was subtle, but enough for our officiating crew to see.
And there's another approach, Jaden Cornea on the defense on that time.
So Jaden Cornea working up against Jackson, and that time Jackson's going to get pegged for a foul. 7.5 minutes here, still 25-24, Rich in the lead, right side. Cornea feeding Carrillo, Weston, who likes to do that double pump. That time it was too far. Jackson goes almost out of bounds. It's kept alive down here on the left side, Krayek. Now Achibo driving in the lane. And Hayden Weston wanted the offensive foul, but Achibo kind of danced around him, threw it up, and that's a score. Mount Vernon takes the lead again, 26-25. Trey Walker caught up here and drives right side baseline. Good find. And a double assist, hockey assist from Trey Walker to Weston, and then Carrillo on the left side, and they strike back. Rich taking the lead here. A couple lead changes here in our Epic Recreation third quarter.
Another nice assist by Hayden Weston.
Hayden Weston also, again, points not falling, but, assists. So if you're getting assists from Hayden, you're getting defense from Trey, and we're trying to get some points called again. Another right side three from Jackson. And Guadesh comes down with the offensive rebound. He worked hard for it. It just rolled off the front of the rim, no good. Cornea crossing the timeline, dribbles right. Back out to Trey, long three, and that's a foul. Trey got caught on the arm here, and our officials say he's going to have 3 chances for points.
No free throws for the Rebels during the second quarter, only 3 in the first quarter. So that could be something big, is to get to the free throw line. Now you got to take advantage of it.
Well, if Trey makes 3 of these here, he's able to double the amount in the first quarter. I jinxed him, though, as he bricked the first one. Still a chance for 2, though, after this.
It was one of the sticky points last night, besides having a little bit of foul trouble. Free throw line at times has been an Achilles heel for the Rebels.
Second opportunity, that one good. Trey reeled it in just a little bit to hit the back iron and fall through. Now 28-26, 2-point lead, babied by the Rebels. Trey taking his time here.
First points for Trey for the night.
He's going to earn it from the stripe, and let's make that 2. Rolled off the front and then to the right and in. 29-26. Guadesh hounded by Cornea there and gets it, flipping it up to Jackson. It's going to fall out of bounds as Jackson went up for it, and then he didn't quite touch it, and it will fall out of bounds in front of the Mount Vernon bench, and a quick timeout taken by the Patriots.
There's that full court pressure causing another turnover for the Patriots.
All right, we'll come back to you in 30 seconds on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Basketball, 98.3 The Wildlife.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
Back into our third quarter, brought to you by Epic Recreation. Today's tip-off today was brought to you by LSR Refrigerated and the start of the second half. That's Darren, Tricia, and the entire Wallentine family wishing the Rebels good luck in all that they do. Now, Rob, we saw that full court press. It worked yesterday to get a little bit of breathing room against Telos. Right now it's working against Mount Vernon. But Mount Vernon called the timeout quickly before too big of a substantial lead. We'll see if Mount Vernon can come back. They're going to dip into a 2-3 zone here against the Rebels. Cornea getting a screen from Carrillo on the left elbow, then back up to the top. Trey Walker pumps, and a travel went a little bit too quickly on that one. Mind went faster than, or the body went faster than the mind on that one.
Only the 4th turnover for the Rebels, so they've done a good job taking care of the ball.
Inbound to Guadesh, and then a foul quickly as he got Trey Walker up in the air. And I think it's going to be on Cornea, though, with a push underneath. Another inbound. Jackson into Guadesh, then Achibo. So they broke the press very well. Jackson, now left side 3, steps into one. That one's good.
That is not what you want to see out of the press.
Nope, a tie ball game as they took advantage. And before the Rich Rebels could transition into the proper defense, Mount Vernon took advantage, took a big 3 by Jackson. Carrillo, Weston, into the paint, off the glass, rolling off. Achibo, Carrillo, both wrestling for it. This time Mount Vernon wins that matchup. Guadesh driving left. Poked away. Here's Pace, who trips over his own feet, keeps it himself alive, and throws it up with the right hand. Trey Walker follows it up with an offensive rebound and a putback, though. Ball up in the air, and then here comes Achibo, who pulls it back down and then out to Jackson right in front of the Rich Rebel bench. Settling down here, Achibo driving left into the key, then Guadesh. And a defensive foul on number 3, that's Trey Walker.
Unfortunately, they're not giving us the number of fouls on the scoreboard, but I do believe that's second or third for Trey.
So Trey's going to hop out, and I think Trey might have been getting into it a little bit there, so a little bit of time to breathe, collect yourself. Nate Woods has come into the game. He's going to be guarding the point guard, Guadesh. High up above the defense near the at the half-court line. Achibo climbs up the ladder, gets it, takes Riley Carrillo off the dribble into the key. Back out to the right side. Long 3, right off the front, no good. Rebound, Cornea. Right-hand dribble in that 2-3 zone. Implemented here by Mount Vernon. Rebels are going to work their way around it to the left and feed inside to Weston. Then Cornea around the defense, and just another little bunny that doesn't fall for the Rich Rebels. Mount Vernon back with the basketball. They're going to stand right at half court on the logo here. Guadesh forced left by Nate Woods. Throws it out to the right for Jackson. Carrillo saves it. Guadesh into the paint. Ooh, and a foul on Hayden Weston. Our official underneath the basket had his hand on his head to motion for an offensive foul, and our referee up above the arc is going to overrule that calling, and it's going to send Guadesh to the line for 2 shots. It's interesting. We had 2 different calls right there.
Coach Cornea, again, doing a great imitation of what Hayden Weston just did to draw the offensive charge, but the call goes the other way.
Guadesh, first one, nothing but net. Score 31-30. With a chance to tie it up here. Guadesh does so. So we're in for a really good one here, Rob. 4 minutes left in the game, in the third quarter, excuse me, our Epic Recreation third quarter. I always have a habit of saying that. Here comes the Rich Rebels, working the baseline to the far side. Pace shoots that one in rhythm. That's just a pretty shot. When you know you need a 3-point ball, I think it's hard to say anybody else on the team except Hunter Pace. He's got such a good look and such a good stroke from beyond the arc.
Good move by Coach Cornea. He saw Nate Woods had the ball, called timeout, turnover on the Patriots.
There we go. That's going to end it, and we're going to get an Independent Software Solutions timeout. Come back to you in 30 on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Basketball, My Local Radio, and KADQ.
They say the 3 most important things in life for many people are their faith, their family, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order. Advertise where you'll get noticed. Call My Local Radio and become a sports advertiser today.
Nice little intro to get us back here to the conclusion of our third quarter. 3:30 left in the game and a turnover by Mount Vernon back into the arms of the Rich Rebels. They're up by 3 points, Rob. And as we might have heard from someone in the booth here, Coach Cornea can be loud when he wants to, and that loudness helped him to get that timeout when it was probably going to be a tie-up within a couple seconds there.
Sure looked that way.
So, Rob Leifson, Cody Olsen here in the booth. Currently, the Rich Rebels up by 3 points, 34-31, and that's really been aided to the fact that the Rich Rebels have taken care of the basketball. They've been smart with it, haven't given it up too many times. I'm only counting, I believe, 4 turnovers the entire game right now. That's very clean for the Rich Rebels, and something you really like to see, especially with how many young kids are out on the court right now.
Well, unfortunately, the Patriots have got 12 turnovers on the other side.
So that's a key stat that we'll keep an eye on. Here's Cornea back in the game here. Nate fakes it out to the left side and goes back to the right for Cornea. Right wing extended. 2 dribbles, working up against Sun, and then Pace drives, feeds Carrillo, seals off his opponent, and gets the foul. A nice little drop step gets him in good position, so he's either going to have points or a foul, and this time they're going to send Carrillo to the line.
Riley's got a good talent of trying to make sure he's got a good position underneath. That's something he's worked on for a lot of years.
So here comes the first free throw for Carrillo, rolling off. Front, back, and in. 35-31, Rich up by 4. With a chance for one more. Signature 3, spin, 2, shot for Riley. I've been around the team long enough now to know exactly their free throw routine. Achibo in the middle of the court, and Jackson's going to step into a 3 just a little bit long. Long rebound fielded by Perry in front of the Mount Vernon Patriot bench. Nate Woods picks up his dribble and then pitches it back to Cornea back at the top. Pace getting a screen from Perry. Then goes back inside for Carrillo. Carrillo, again, good position, works against Achibo. And now Carrillo starting to warm up a little bit. 38-31 for the Rich Rebels. Another press by the Rich team, but Mount Vernon's going to break it after Achibo dribbles out of it into his own offensive set. Handoff here to Sun, who goes to the very top of the arc, and a little dribble handoff to Guadesh. Guadesh holds it high above his head, motioning people away, and Jackson skips it out here. And then Guadesh after the feed from the left side wing from Krayek. That's a good find, and they trading blows here. Mount Vernon not going anywhere. 33-38, advantage for the Rich Rebels. 2 minutes left here in our Epic Recreation third quarter. Pace, after getting the double screen underneath the basket, throws it back to Nate Woods at the top. Then to Cornea. Cornea doesn't dribble at all, goes to Pace, who's been working the baseline as well. Nate Woods getting the feed there from Carrillo. Back to Carrillo for 3. No good, rolling off, and a foul. Cornea tried to poke the ball away from Achibo. The thing is, he's given up a couple inches, a little bit of weight, and he's going to give up a foul.
9 rebounds for Achibo.
9 and counting, and Achibo's really been ripping it off the boards. Cornea is going to come out. Hoffman will come in.
You said Riley was on fire. He's up to 15 points on the night.
Guadesh over to Payek. Then Achibo dribbles through the Rich Rebel defense, up and around Riley Carrillo. Wow, silky smooth, getting the feed right at half court. Almost took 3 strides, and he was already at the basket. Impressive. 35-38. Nate Woods over to Hoffman here in front of the media bench, who goes right up to the top, back to Nate, right side. Pace trying to feed Carrillo, working against Achibo underneath. Ball goes back up to the top. Hoffman. Again, Perry inside, Pace on the back cut, left it long. Carrillo again missing a bunny. If he's able to hit all the bunnies he's missed, he's probably looking at about 25 points today. Instead, he misses that one, and Guadesh is going to end up with the basketball. Here's Sun, left side, guarded by Carrillo. Up to the top, and a little mismatch. Achibo taking Perry off the dribble, driving into the lane, off the glass, and a foul.
Patriots 7 of 8 from the free throw line tonight.
So that's a high percentage. Good discipline, knowing your practice right here. We'll see what Ketu Achibo can do. A nice little shimmy into his little squat.
Shoulder shake.
There we go. But it is all for naught as it just rolls off the back. No good.
I asked Coach Cornea what the change was between the rough night in Tabiona and the miraculous shooting that they did against ICS. He said it was his sweater vest. And he's wearing it tonight, Cody, so we'll see if it brings us good luck.
All right, we'll see if it does, and I love the sweater vest. I think if the trend continues, I'll wear a sweater vest over top of my T-shirt. We'll rock it and keep all of the lucky energy that we possibly can. Achibo, second shot, off to the right, no good. Went 0 for 2 on that one. Pace working it up the floor, out the right side, and inside to Carrillo. Again, good positioning. Sealed off Gabriel Jackson on the right side block. Threw it up, easy one there. 40-35, and Sun puts it right into the arms of Carrillo, falling out of bounds. Nobody there to help him out. He just kind of had to force that one. Left his feet, and he had to make a quick decision, and that decision was leading someone, but no one was there. Out the back line, Guadesh into Achibo, who's been manning the middle, and then Payek, instead of passing to an open Sun underneath the basket, took a long 3. He's going to miss that one. Pace strolling it right across the line, throws it right at Nate Woods' feet, has to pick it up.
That's twice the Patriots have broken the press very easily and have had numbers on the other end, but they've pulled up with a three-pointer rather than try to go underneath.
Nate Woods in great rhythm, feeding it from the top to the right side wing, hits it for 3. And a heave at the end for the Patriots. just off the glass, too hard, no good. 35-43 after the end of our Epic Recreation third quarter. Coming back to you after this for our conclusion here, brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital and a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Boys Basketball 98.3 The Wildlife.
For years, people from all over have counted on the competent staff and first-class facilities at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Consistently named one of the top rural hospitals in the country, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital provides a wide range of treatments, no matter what you need. Whether it be a simple visit to their expanded ER, a visit to their in-house MRI machine, or if you need more advanced treatments like chemotherapy or dialysis. The staff at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital cares about your health and will do everything they can to help you. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho, the most caring hospital on earth.
Coming back to you for the start of our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. Biggest lead of the night, Rob, 8 points for the Rich Rebels. They're up 43-35, and it's come as Riley Carrillo really has started to settle in a little bit. Missed a couple bunnies, obviously. We've touched upon those. Don't want to give him too more grief than he's already been given. But he's on fire right now. He's putting it in, and they're trying to see him every time they go down the floor.
And he's doing a good job of working to get position, and that probably would have made the Telos game a little bit different last night because, as I said, he spent plenty of time on the bench with foul trouble last night, and he's kept himself out of that tonight.
That's good, and good being able to check yourself and avoid foul trouble. Cornea leaves his feet dribbling around the baseline. That one rolls out. Carrillo ends up with the offensive rebound, goes high above Achibo, and it bounces 3 times and goes in. So extending that lead here, and now 10 points. Payek high for Guadesh, who has to volleyball tip it back into play. Carrillo now pushing it down the floor. Out to Hoffman. Now Carrillo in a travel violation. A couple steps too many. We all saw it on the left side wing. Maybe Riley was trying to get that positioning behind the arc, but instead turnover after a good defensive possession by the Rebels. Back to the Mount Vernon Patriots. Guadesh getting hounded there. Goes baseline on his own side. And Sun throwing it up with the right hand. I don't know if that was a pass or a shot. But
they gave him 3.
You know what? It's going to be 3 points. He was looking for Sun underneath, threw it up from his chest like a shot put, and it was nothing but net from beyond the arc on a rope right there from the left side. And I don't think I've seen anything like that for a while. That was a good one. Left me speechless for a hot second. A timeout taken here. We'll take it as well. Come back to you in 30 seconds on a Bear Lake Memorial Hospital presentation of our fourth quarter on Rich Rebel Basketball 98.3 The Wildlife.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
Back at it again here for the start of our fourth quarter, and it started in a very interesting way. And they changed the scoreboard, Rob, and I think it's off of a technicality that, don't ask me why I know it, but from beyond the arc, according to the rule book here, if it's intended to be a pass and the ball ends up in the basket, even though it's beyond the arc, it's only going to be 2 points. And they changed the score to 37 for the Mount Vernon Patriots after that miraculous ball going in the basket here. Nate Woods getting the feed on the left side, just left it a tad short. Achibo rips it down off the glass, and Guadesh almost baseball through it, decides to pull it back down and runs his way across the length of the court back into their offensive set. Jackson driving against Hoffman into the paint, and a travel as he slid a little bit too far and tried to get it out as he ran into a defensive wall there.
You said Achibo averages a double-double. He's got his 10 boards, and he's got 6 points.
Achibo right now, if you're looking at the Mount Vernon Patriot defense and offense, he just seems to be everywhere when that ball's up for grabs. 2 or 3 Rebels are fighting him for it, but he uses his great strength and great, off-ball IQ to track that thing down. He's got a double-double tonight. Cornea, right side wing. Hayden Weston had quite a bit of room on Gabriel Jackson, who's also working as a forward guarding Hayden Weston here. Now Nate Woods, near corner, back up to the top. Hoffman, 2 dribble skip out to the left side. Cornea keeps it alive, stepped on the line, and it was right in front of the Rebel bench, and they say, I don't think so. Our official, who was running down the sideline, said yes, yes, yes.
Good ice from the baseline to be able to see that side of the court.
Interesting. Achibo almost traveled with it. It left his feet. Jackson into the arms of Hayden Weston. Comes up with it again. Guadesh, right side 3. Good for the Mount Vernon Patriots. And now we're back down to a 5-point lead for the Rebels with 5:52 left here in the ball game. Left side here. Hoffman back over to Cornea, who's on the corner, drives left side baseline, up and underneath the defense, keeps it himself, hands off to Nate Woods. Nate against Sun. Another feed. Hoffman up and underneath, blocked by Achibo. Third time's the charm and a foul as Hoffman got 2 chances at that one after the first initial block by Achibo. And I think Achibo's going to get pegged for the foul. I don't think he was anywhere near Hoffman on that one.
I don't think so either.
I think that's what he's pleading his case for as well. He's like, I wasn't there. I don't deserve the foul. I'm innocent, man.
I've been impressed with Jackson. Not only is he a scorer, but he has been playing great defense underneath.
Hoffman, too soft. Misses the first one.
Rebels had been 6 of 8 from the free throw line before that miss by Carter.
A little bit better than yesterday. Maybe the averages will equal out here. Carter Hoffman with a second opportunity from our Bear Lake Realty free throw stripe. Goes 50%, 1 for 2, 46-40. Guadesh again to Achibo. So that pressure, every time they've been able to get it to Achibo in the middle, has worked out well. And Jackson will take a long 3 on the right side. He's knocked down a few of them. That time he does not. Cornea tracks it down and goes across the timeline into their offensive set. A jab by Guadesh. Keeps Cornea on his toes. Now Hoffman here. Back to Cornea around the horn. Nate Woods looking, surveying, waiting. Get it out to Hoffman here on the far side corner. Now a dribble baseline feed to Weston. Hesitation up into the arms of Achibo. Good defense by Achibo by staying very statue still. Up he will go. And a foul called here on the Patriots. I'm not sure what it was.
Kickball.
Kickball, that's what it is. I just saw the whistle and a pointing. So under 5 minutes, just barely here. The Rich Rebels babying a 6-point lead right now as Mount Vernon's answered. Rich hasn't been able to pull away more than 10 points, and the Patriots have been able to fight back. Carrillo getting the inbound back to Cornea, around the horn up to the top this time. Nate Woods, couple dribbles, slows it down, goes out to the right for Hoffman. Looking for Weston, crossover dribble to the left up to the top. Nate to Weston, left elbow, teardrop. That's beautiful. That one's good. A great jumper right on the left elbow. 48-40 for the Rich Rebels. 4:30 left in the basketball game. Guadesh getting a screen from Achibo at the very top of the arc. Now Jackson against Hoffman. Protecting the basketball. Guadesh driving left. Blocking foul called on the Rich Rebels on number 1, Nate Woods.
The shot clock may have changed the flow of this game next year because the Rebels took plenty of time to score that last bucket, which they wouldn't have the option with the shot clock.
It's going to be interesting, Rob, to see how that affects how teams adapt, right? You know, I've talked with Coach Cornea before. He prides himself in great defense, right? We're going to take a quick Independent Software Solutions timeout. We'll keep it here in the booth talking about this 35-second shot clock. Talking with Coach Cornea, prides himself on defense. And I know that, I may or may not have poked my ear in a couple times at practice. They want the Rebels to have a good shot. They don't want to force up anything. And now when you're on a timer, even though it is 35 seconds, it goes by really fast in game.
And it makes you wonder how they're going to adjust to that during practice. Are you going to have somebody running a shot clock during practice so that you get in the flow of that and you pay attention to that?
Well, we'll have to see how that goes. Another question is, Rob, with the implementation of a 35-second shot clock, are schools going to have to put a timer somewhere where the players can see? How are they going to do that? Is it going to be a plug-in on the floor somewhere? Is it going to be a box above the basket? It's going to be interesting what kind of changes we're going to see.
Obviously, it's going to cost a lot of schools a little bit of cash to get that set up and somebody to watch the clock, reset it at the right time.
Someone's full-time job. I mean, really, that's what it is. Rob, do you think that the implementation of the 35-second shot clock is going to prepare high school athletes in the state of Utah for the next jump if they have that opportunity?
It will prepare them for college. Obviously, that's something that we saw in the NBA, then it came down to the college level. Now it's making its way to the high school. When it gets into Little League, that's when I retire.
It's going to be really difficult, right? As soon as Junior Jazz implements that, we're going to be having a problem here. Inbound here to Achibo, and a foul called.
Hayden Weston
wrestling in there, not giving up any easy points. And a foul called.
In the bonus.
So that's 7 fouls given up by the Rich Rebels here with 4:16 or 18. I think we have one bulb out on our score clock right there. 4:18 left here in our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. Achibo went 0 for 2 last time he went at the line. This time knocks it home, and he has a chance for another one. 41-48 is your score late here in the fourth quarter. Mount Vernon with the help of the shimmy shake by Achibo. And 2 points, perfect from the line. Now down 6. We're trying to claw back into this one. Cornea up, across, Guadesh pressuring him into the dead corner on the left side. Now a handoff to Nate Woods. Nate getting a feed. Hockey assist there, and Cornea, no, that's Carrillo. Carrillo throws it up, misses it, and it's going to bounce off of a Rich Rebel. So, will the Rich Rebels pressure and try and cause the Patriots to cough up the basketball here? That's what they're going to see at the moment. Man pressure, Guadesh, one-on-one. High up, leaving Sun underneath, and Sun drives right on Hayden Weston, goes up and up, and leaves his feet, throws it up with the left hand. It wasn't close to going into the basket, but a foul is called on Hayden Weston. So, Tommy Sun, the senior, with a chance here to cut it to less than 6. Cuts it to 5 with that shot. One more, and it's only a 2-possession game. 43-48, Sun. Second one, no good, and an offensive rebound by Achibo. That one's huge, especially late in the game here. 5-point difference between these two teams. Sun feeding Achibo, left elbow, into the arms of a couple Rich Rebels. That one's too far, out to the left. Rebels come down with it. And now the Patriots, as soon as Cornea crosses that line, he's going to get hounded here. Nate Woods out here on the right side driving into the lane. Goes up, Achibo's going to foul him as Nate threw his body into it. He's going to own 2 shots at the line.
Looks like you got Noah Perry and Trey Walker ready to check back into the game with 3.5 minutes to go.
Those are 2 defensive stars for the Rich Rebels that are there to cause problems for any ball handlers. So we'll see after this first shot. Nate Woods, no good on the first one. Still 5 points. It's a 2-possession ball game right now. Only 5 points difference. Hayden Weston's going to come out. Trey Walker's going to come in for Nate Woods as the shooter after this shot. Second one up and good. Whoops, wrong one here. It's going to be 49-43. Guadesh driving, kick out to the right, long 3 again for Jackson. This one off just to the front. Nate Woods comes down with it off the glass, hands off to Cornea. Cornea flipping it far onto the corner on the far side. Nate Woods getting wrapped up by Jackson. And a foul called here. Independent Software Solutions timeout. We'll take it here. Come back to you for the conclusion with about 3 minutes left here on our Bear Lake Memorial Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, fourth quarter, on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel basketball.
For years, people from all over have counted on the competent staff and first-class facilities at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Consistently named one of the top rural hospitals in the country, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital provides a wide range of treatments no matter what you need. Whether it be a simple visit to their expanded ER, a visit to their in-house MRI machine, or if you need more advanced treatments like chemotherapy or dialysis. The staff at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital cares about your health and will do everything they can to help you. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho, the most caring hospital on earth.
Back here for the conclusion of our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. Rich holding on now to a 6-point lead with 3 minutes left here in the ball game. We get a peace sign from Hunter Pace as a nice little shout out. Hunter's going to nail a huge bucket here in just a second to ice this game. Inbounds for Cornea from right in front of the media table. Cornea. Now the Patriots settling back into their 2-3 zone here. Pace feeding Carrillo, sealing off Jackson, and another foul over the top. And I think Jackson, even though he's claiming he was up straight, he might have just been on the back just a little bit there. And that's going to put Carrillo to the line. So the free throw opportunities now are able to either make or break the game for either team. And from what we understood from Rob, it was a little bit of a challenge yesterday. So here's a redemption try for Carrillo. Carrillo long on that one, no good. Free throw woes, Rob.
They will continue, and I can guarantee you this is something that Coach Corney addresses in practice.
Well, it was probably going to get a question from me also after our interview next week on Monday. Second one up and good. So 50% for free points. Guadesh down by 7. Across the timeline out to the left. Sun pump fakes it and then gets it back inside for a Chibo. Around the horn to Jackson. Up to the top. Krayek driving, floating, nothing but air. And then they pass into Cornea.
Rebels in no hurry at all.
Nope, no hurry whatsoever. 2:40 left here in the ball game. Pace, Carrillo, feed inside. Walker rolling off the front of the rim, no good. Guadesh pushing it in front of the media table down the right sideline. Spinning around and a pitch back to Jackson. A 3 missed by Jackson, and Coach Cornea did not like that Jackson had a free shot at that. It's been talked about multiple times, I'm willing to bet, in the huddle. Don't let Gabriel Jackson with an open shot, especially on the right side of the court. Carrillo thought about going into Trey Walker. Now another feed. Walker to Carrillo, who goes in between the double team on the right side block, and he puts it up and in. And now the Rebels are up by 9 with less than 2 minutes left in the game. Guadesh here to Sun. Can't quite grab onto it on the first one. Has to double pump it. Gets it back up to the top for Krayek. Jackson. Up to the top for Guadesh. Guadesh for 3, no good. Another offensive rebound and a foul as Sun smartly goes right into the arms of the defense there. So he misses at least a 3-point opportunity, but he's going to get 2 chances for easy ones.
That last bucket by Riley puts him at 20 points for the game with 8 boards.
20 points for the game, and that's you're hovering around 40% of the scoring for everybody here. First shot up by Sun is good. 40% of the offensive production given by Riley Carrillo. Another timeout here, and we'll go ahead, take it, come back to you for the conclusion here on a Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter and a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports, 98.3 The Wildlife.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
Back here into our fourth quarter for what should be the conclusion of the game. We only have 1:30 left, but you know, who knows about that. Rob, we saw a little bit of a trend here on our stat sheet in terms of runs. You want to touch up on it?
The offense has hit the slow mode in the fourth quarter. The last 4 minutes have not been very offensive. Producing, I guess you want to put it that.
That's a good one. I mean, like they haven't been making shots. I mean, that's what it has been, and it's rubbed off onto the other team as well.
It's pretty much turned down to a free throw parade.
Free throw parade, and right now Rich has been able to hang on to it just long enough. Far from perfect from the line for both teams. If either of these teams were able to, bump that free throw percentage up to 80, you're looking at a different ballgame right now. It's either a blowout or it's going to be very, very close. A missed shot from Sun. Carrillo gets bumped from behind, loses traction, and then Achibo comes in, and then a jump ball called here on the left wing of the Rich Rebel side of the court.
And here's a defensive switch. Trey Walker back in the game for Nate Woods.
Another defensive switch. Trey Walker's back into it, and Trey Godesh getting the feed and then throwing his arms and then diving into the lane up with the right hand, throwing it off. It rolls in. Very nice for Godesh. 46-52, Cornea here into Trey Walker. Turning around to the left and getting it to Pace. Pace up into the arms of Godesh, and a foul with a minute approximately left here in the game. It's only 6 points here, Rob. It can be overcome pretty easily.
That's 11 points for Godesh. I was surprised that Hunter went all the way in and not pulled it out, probably run some more clock, but he's going to go to the free throw line.
Confidence in his free throws here. Hunter Pace, first one up and good. 53-46, 7-point difference between these two teams.
Hunter in double digits again after last night's 16 points.
Second one, good for Pace. 54-46, 8-point difference here, and a substitution as Fasika Edgit Belku comes out and Parks Krayik comes in. Gabriel Jackson looking for Godesh here on the far side corner into Achibo. Spins around, gets it back to Godesh. Offensive foul called, and Godesh runs over Trey Walker right at half court trying to climb the line.
There's Trey's defense once again.
Trey's defense and a nice little flex as Trey's about to come back out off the court, and Nate Woods is going to come in. So it looks like Nate's coming in for these offensive sets. Trey's coming out to exhibit some good defense here. And both of these fine young men, strong in certain areas, and they're giving it for their team. And that's how you make a championship-winning team. That's how you gel as a team. And now the Patriots are going to go into an intentional fouling mode here. And as soon as Nate Woods is done with his free throws, Trey Walker's going to come in.
Nate was 1 of 2 last time at the free throw line.
One-and-one opportunity. I think we had to correct the saying by our officials here. 1-and-1, so Nate up with the first one. Good.
He just wanted to keep my score sheet corrected. I already put him down that he was going to get 2 attempts.
That's good. Keeping Rob Leifson right on our stat sheet is quintessentially important. Second one here for Nate. Good. 2 for 2. And that's now up to a 10-point lead for the Rich Rebels. 46 seconds left. No foul needed. Rich Rebels don't need to reach in here. Just making it a little bit difficult to ride down the court for the Patriots. Godesh Getting the inbound here from Jackson, right at his own free throw line. Across midcourt with the left-hand dribble, stuttering into the line. A block from Trey Walker. Achibo comes down with an offensive rebound, and that's an outlet here to Pace on the on the right side moving forward. Hunter Pace, another intentional foul from the Patriots. To the line they will go, and Pace has been automatic from the free throw line so far.
Well, the Rebels were 2 of 6 to start the quarter, and they're 4 of 4 of the last attempt, so we're seeing some improvement.
Law of averages, up by 10, 56-46 here in Mount Vernon. 26 seconds left. Again, I think we're still in the bonus, 1-1. First one good, maybe not. No one moved. Usually they have it on our score bug here, our scoreboard in the gym, but we don't see it. Now 57-46, second one up and good. Perfect from the line. Confidence exhibited by a couple of Rich Rebels at the line here late in the game. Quadesh to Jackson, right side. Long jumper three, no good, and it's a rip down by Perry.
Hello, this is Dr. McKay Franklin. Something I've really enjoyed as a dentist over the past 20 years are the lasting friendships that I've formed with many of my patients. My staff is really great, and we try hard to make sure that every patient feels a warm welcome. It doesn't matter if it's your first visit or if you've been with us for years. Every patient is welcome and always appreciated. Our goal is to provide the best dental care possible at reasonable rates. Please call us today to schedule your appointment at 307-789-8910.
Go Red Devils!
Wyoming is unique. When it comes to high school sports, we might travel 6 hours to a game, but when we get there, we know the other team, their parents, and the coaches. Wyoming is like one small town with really long streets. When your travels take you to Evanston, always stay with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. Clean, comfortable rooms, a restaurant serving healthy, delicious food, and breakfast is always included. If you're bringing the team or following the team, stay with us every time you're in Evanston. The Best Western Dunmar Inn.
Thanks so much for joining us here for our post-game show. First thing we're going to go ahead and cover today on our post-game show is going to be our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Jimmy John's, that's 113 Front Street in Evanston. Here we go as we dip now for our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. And right now, at the end of the first quarter, Mountain View is actually going to be in the lead 15-10. And that's off of some hot shooting by Gabriel Jackson. He had his points early on in the game. And then going into halftime after a huge three-pointer taken by Hunter Pace to get the Rebels in the lead there, 25-24. The Rebels didn't look back. They came out shooting hot at the third quarter, even though there was a few missed bunnies by a couple different players. Rich played well enough to keep the lead. Mount Vernon kept it close near the fourth quarter. They got within about 4 points at one point. Pretty interesting at the end, but then Rich, off of some perfect free throw shooting at the end, able to ice this game. Your final 58-46. Rich Rebels take it away in the here in Murray against a very good Mount Vernon team. Rob, we saw a lot of really good stuff there, and our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap, a good way to recap what we saw. I mean, overall, good free throw shooting at the end and taking care of the basketball. That was really what kept the Rich Rebels in good position.
Ended up 14 of 20 from the free throw line.
14 of 20. That's a great percentage right there. And, the rebound battle was pretty close. You have to give props to Ketu Achibo as well. Averaged a double-double, and guess what? He came away with a double-double in the end.
8 points.
8 points?
13 boards.
Yeah, he's very close. Very close. And 13 boards is substantial. Very huge. You have to give props also to Gabriel Jackson, who knew his spot, and he let it fly whenever he had it.
I think the Rebels did a good job on defense. They had Jaden Corney on him a lot in the second half, and he didn't score as many in the second half, obviously, as he did in the first half.
So that is our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Special thanks to Jimmy John's out of Evanston. 113 Front Street, where fresh and fast meet every time. Rob, it's time for us to now dip into our Dr. McKay Frankham precision play of the game. The first play that comes to my mind is setting a tone to take the lead at the end of the first half. Hunter Pace getting the feed there, pushing it down the court very quickly, sets his feet on the far left corner, rises high above, knocks that one down, takes a 1-point lead going into halftime.
If you've watched the Rebels basketball program for quite a few years, they have pretty much perfected that sideline relay to get the ball up court quickly, and they knew what the clock situation was and executed it very well.
That's your precision play of the game, brought to you by Dr. McKay Frankham. Precision Family Dentistry. Go ahead, give him a call today at 307-789-8910. Before we go into break, we also want to recognize that the girls went over to Wendover today, took a huge win, and were up by 30 at one point, a good comeback after a loss against North Summit. Looking into the girls, guess what? North Summit yesterday, win here today in Wendover, and the first game coming back next week is North Summit at North Summit. So that is your precision play of the game. We'll come back to you after a quick break here to name our player of the game, brought to you by the Town of Garden City. Thank you for joining us here on 98.3 The Wild Life. This is a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Basketball on mylocalradio.com.
As high school sports fans, we know that sometimes you have to drive a long way to get to the next game. If you find yourself on the side of the road, remember that Freeway Tire in Evanston offers service calls and roadside assistance 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a great idea to have your vehicle serviced, tires checked, and oil changed to make sure it's in top shape before your next long drive. Visit Freeway Tire today, your locally owned and operated tire shop. Freeway Tire, 217 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
They say the three most important things in life for many people are their faith, their family, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order. Advertise where you'll get noticed. Call My Local Radio and become a sports advertiser today.
Back here for the last time to recap our game. The Rich Rebels coming away with a big victory, 58-46 here against Mount Vernon in Murray. Now on a 3-game winning streak, Rob. That's huge. Now time to mention and announce our Town of Garden City player of the game. That's Town of Garden City, where families play at beautiful Bear Lake. Visit gardencity.ut.us. Rob.
Well, I think we're going to give it to Riley Carrillo for 20 points and 9 rebounds, 4 of those offensive, but he worked very well underneath. You've got to watch away from the ball to see how much effort he's putting in to get in that position. And kudos to his teammates. They're able to feed him inside, and he's able to finish.
Guess what? He didn't have an easy task today either. Going up against Ketu Achibo is a large task, and guess what? Riley was up for the challenge, used quite a bit of his strength and his size to seal off defenders, put in wonderful work. That is our Town of Garden City player of the game, goes to Riley Carrillo. Our final score, again, recapping on our Station on Main scoreboard here. Rich taking the win against Mount Vernon, 58-46. Thank you so much here. From Murray, we're going to sign off. Cody Olsen on behalf of my associate and really good friend, Rob Leifson. My wonderful, beautiful wife, my wife as well, manning the camera. Here in the booth, we're going to go ahead, sign off. Rich coming away with a win here in Murray. Thanks so much for joining us on 98.3 The Wild Live. Join us next week for another full slate of basketball. We'll catch up with you on wrestling as well, as that should be a really fun one. Drive safe, or if you're already in your home, enjoy it. Have a wonderful weekend, and as always, go Rebels.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Thank you for joining us on this Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on MyLocalRadio.com. Until next time,